Rise and Shine with Robbo and Becky on Vision.
It's Marriage Week, but we get to talk to these lovely people every week. It's Brett and Kate Ryan from Focus on the Family Australia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay.
Good morning.
You guys are looking well today. I can say that because we can actually see you now, which is fantastic.
We will,
I know, it's very
I
weird.
say the royal we will edit this and get it up on the website, but the lovely Grace will do that for us.
Yes.
Thanks, Grace.
Now, we do appreciate you guys being with us again. And, of course, it is Marriage Week, as mentioned. So we're focusing on all different aspects of marriage this week. But you guys want to talk particularly about the importance of dating your spouse.
Yeah, we actually last night spoke about this at our webinar on Journey to Us about the importance of investing that time to connect with your spouse.
Yeah.
And we often talk about going on a date night, and people think, oh, date night, like that costs money for those people who are Scroogey like me. You think about, but it doesn't have to cost you money. It's just a little bit of time and a bit of intentionality to actually connect with your spouse, to actually say, I'm giving you my undivided attention and we're going to do something together. And that alone can actually just be like what I call the 1%ers, can make all the difference to your relationship.
I like that. Because I do think, someone says date night and I think, okay, I got to sort the babysitter and I need to make sure we've got this and who's fit.
Yeah.
And actually you just think, oh, by the time I want to go on a date, I actually just want to go to bed and have a nap. But I think
Well, your husband might want that as well. So.
So I just think, oh my goodness, when actually I think we put too much emphasis on, well, we've got to be this, when actually we could have a cup of tea together, drink coffee together after the kids are in bed.
Yeah.
Like it can be simple things like that, right?
Exactly. And those moments, they don't have to be a set date time. Now, I think we can get caught up. We just do the little things, we just do the little things, do the coffee, but we also need to add in the big things.
Okay, yeah.
Because the little things are fantastic. And let's face it, at the end of the day, to just be able to sit down together with a coffee and talk about the day is lovely.
And if you don't drink coffee, you can have any beverage as well. Just letting everyone know.
Yes,
you don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I will have other beverages.
Yeah,
Excellent.
exactly.
Okay.
But planning the bigger ones, as in getting the babysitter, and it's kind of the dreaming part of it. And so you plan throughout the week. We're going to spend time together on, say, Friday night. And so it's really making that a priority and starting to dream about it and talk about it together. So looking forward to Friday night. What are we going to eat? Where are we going to go? What are we, it might just be going for a walk around the lake and grabbing a drink or, supper or whatever it is. And doing a picnic. It doesn't have to be an expensive, as Brett said, business, but it has to be planned and it has to be something where you can connect together and plan it together so you are dreaming about it together, because that kind of adds that romance. And even every now and then dropping like a note, so looking forward to Friday night, or just so it's the other person knows that you are considering them and thinking about them, and that night's going to be really the highlight of the week.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
that's
like
so
that.
good. So you're right. I mean, it can be just the anticipation of the night is one big part of it, isn't it? Like just the build up and, thinking about, well, what would you like to do? Or is there something that, we haven't done before, a place we haven't, had dinner before?
And
so all those little things.
If there's been some challenges going on in the relationship, maybe there's been a disconnect, you can actually plan ahead that we're saying our relationship's so important. There's some things we need to talk about, and we're going to do that on our date night. So it's actually creating setting the expectation. We're going to need to talk about some serious things to improve in our relationship, the way that we communicate, the way that we handle conflict. There's been some tension, and so it actually means that there's a place that's going to be hopefully non-threatening. It's not going to be in your own home. It's going to be outside. So then you're going to be on your best behavior. But it means that you're actually going to have these conversations. And we cannot emphasize the importance of this, because so many people can drift in their relationship and they can take their spouse for granted. But if you continue to cherish and value and to nourish that relationship, it's going to last the long haul through the ups and downs, through the challenges, because we know that, it's a healthy marriage is not conflict free. We're all going to have conflict. We're only have different opinions, but we can actually say, hey, we can resolve our conflict in a really healthy way.
And look, the busyness of life, let's put it this way, the busyness of life can push out all of that.
Yeah.
It just can. Where, as you said, if you've got a plan, you've got to get babysitters, you've got to do this, and sometimes you can go, that's just one more thing.
Yeah.
But if you go, okay, I've got a jar and I'm going to put my rocks in it of the important things in my life. Well, if my spouse is one of those important things, so we'll have God, our children, our spouse, our career, our church. They're our rocks in our life. But if we make our relationship the sand that just the little bits that if it fits, then we'll do it. Then you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But if you make it a priority, it's in the diary, you're excited about it. And now we mentioned weekly. Let's face it, the chances of doing it weekly for most people is not it. But even if you're doing one once a month and make it a good amount of time. So, it might be dinner and out for the evening, or it might be over lunchtime or whatever. You don't just go, we're going out for an hour once a month.
But if you've got children, you don't have people looking after your children, and that's let's face it, that can be the reality of many people. You can have a date in the home, and if your kids, you can get them excited. They can be the waiters and the waitresses. They can be the entertainment. They can actually serve you. They can prepare the meal. They can actually write the menus and make it really special. So they can actually say, I'm going to be part of mummy and daddy's date night.
That's cool.
And that could be something very, very special as well.
Because they get to see mum and dad in love.
Yeah, that's right.
They get to see that they're making each other a priority and we want to be a part of it. And isn't it exciting? Our kids love it when we demonstrate love towards our
That's a good point.
They actually love stuff. They
that's right.
Gross. Oh, yuck, says Michaela.
Yeah, but they actually love it on the inside.
Our grandchildren, when Brett and I are kissing, they stop and they stare. And it's so funny. And so Brett will go, will I kiss her again? And they go, yeah. And the other day, he goes, well, one of our grandson says, I want to kiss. And so we go, group kiss. So we picked up both our grandchildren and we ended up kissing each other and went round and round. It was so precious.
That's lovely.
But they love it. They love this demonstration of love. And so if they can be a part of it and see what that looks like, and you talk about, well, we want to celebrate that we love each other and we're connecting and you can be a part of that.
That's so good. Well, some great little tips in there. Lots of ideas. I think creativity is good. Variety is good. All those things that you're talking about, very worthwhile, particularly on, the marriage week. And, traditionally the great Aussie date night happens in the marriage week. So maybe we can all, make a plan now. We've got a few days to get it organised for the weekend.
And if you'd like to find out how you're going in your marriage, we actually have a free marriage assessment. And you can find out how you're going in some areas, some of those strengths, and then some areas that
for growth.
And that could be a catalyst for some healthy conversations. And if you don't know where to start, we've also got some, 100 conversation starters with your spouse. So there's something for everyone. And so we'd highly recommend doing a little bit of homework. And if you're not, this is unusual territory for you or you're not familiar with it, you have to go back to some of the basics. And you remember that you were a couple before the kids came along and you're going to be a couple when the kids leave the nest. And so that time is so vitally important that you are not taking one another for granted.
Because we change over the seasons. And so we need to get to know each other all the time.
How do you do? My name is Brett.
I love it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That's
I'd like to get to know you.
You're a grandpa now. Ooh, old.
Yeah. You're married to a grandpa.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Check out those resources as mentioned, families.org.au, and enjoy a bit of a date, hopefully this week.
Love it.
During marriage week. Thanks, guys. We'll chat again next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.